Hello, hello. Good evening to you. I'm Ian Danter. Alongside me, Chris Mace, the Ace Mason. Thanks for tuning into the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. Night 5 of the Premier League Jamboree is about to get started at the Brighton Centre. 5,000 darts fans in attendance to see whether Luke Humphries can stretch his lead at the top of the fledgling table. He's won 2 nights out of the 4 so far, 15 points to cool hand. That's 7 clear of his nearest rival, and his nearest rival is the new UK Open champion, Luke Littler. Usual format, 4 quarter-finals, 2 semi-finals and a final in Brighton. And Chris Mason, you were at the UK Open at the weekend. You saw Luke Littler doing the usual extraordinary stuff, ticking another one off the list.
Yeah, that's his thing, isn't it? He wants to win all of the big ones at least once, and well, he's going to do it in double quick time the way he's going. But he was outstanding, and listen, he's got a bit of experience with the UK Open, did make a quarter-final the year before, knew what it was all about, but just having that 1 year more experience, and of course being the world champion and everything that comes with that, and he looked unbeatable pretty much from start to finish. It was as clinical as you would have wanted as a player. He was just unfazed and untroubled.
The 8 Premier League players who took part in the UK Open at the weekend, mixed fortunes. Of course, 2 of them met each other in Bunting and Dobey. Once you got to that round where the elite players joined the fun, the disappointing ones, I guess Michael van Gerwen losing to the world number 57 Robert Owen was probably the most noteworthy bad result.
Yeah, and it was a really horrible game. It was smelly. The first 2 legs, I think we were 3 legs in, and the highest finish was 3. 1-1-1. Yeah, listen, he's got well-documented issues. There's still a game in there. We've seen him in the Premier League, average in excess of a ton. But the problem is that vulnerability and the fact that now that wrist breaks and the dart now points to the ground instead of to the sky, he's got fragilities in his game, and the players now will sense it and smell it.
And Abigail Davies gave me this stat earlier, which I couldn't believe when she put it across to me, that MVG has not won back-to-back games in tournament play since Ali Pali, and of course he reached the final, but in 2025 he's had a rotten time of it, and against Cross last week, not at his best.
No, I don't really know what, it's hard to sort of pinpoint it. I think there's multiple things every player's throw, and it changes and evolves throughout their career, sometimes for the better, as you could say with Phil Taylor, but with Michael I'm not sure. Listen, he's earned a fortune.
Yeah, but in fairness to you, Mace, you've watched it. You've detailed this with us in our coverage.
For years. I've seen it go. I've seen it start to go 3 or 4 years ago. I did a thing on ITV where someone said, "Oh, I was talking nonsense." So I said, "Right, can you get me a shot that's pretty much identical from 2 years ago and put today's shot side by side?" And you could see it. It's gone from that to that. And the problem is, it's opening the hand quick enough, and then getting the consistency, because there's too many moving parts, and the desire's not there. I think listen, he's got a couple of young children, he's married, he's enjoying his life a bit more, and probably the urgency to get up and work hard for 3 or 4 hours I just don't think it's there anymore. But listen, he's super talented. He could pop up tonight and do the business, and nobody would be shocked, because he's got that much ability. But it's going to get harder and harder and harder as the influx of players like Luke Littler come into the game who are ruthless.
That's our first match-up tonight. Michael van Gerwen against Gerwyn Price, who has won a week in the Premier League this season. Paul Nicholson actually tipped Gerwyn up to win week 3. In fairness to Nico, he knew that there was something in Gerwyn's game that was picking up, and it just generally seemed as though Gerwyn's going to have a better 2025 than 2024. Yeah,
he's seen a sports psychologist, and again he has a slightly different approach. He wants to play darts because he loves to play darts, and he's been very good to the game, and the game's been very good to him financially. So yeah, we're seeing a slightly different Gezi Prize. Although the results aren't there in the big individual tournaments, it's not like he's going up there and averaging 85 or 90. You know, his seasonal numbers are still very, very good. Well, his last 12 months numbers are still very, very good. They have They have dropped slightly, but so has a lot of players. But he's another player like MVG. If it's his night, he wins.
Now Luke Littler hit 21 80s in Exeter last week. I mean, you're laughing already, and I don't blame you, because he's hit more 180s I've got down here than Cross, Bunting, MVG and Price combined in the opening 4 weeks. That's ridiculous numbers.
Yeah, there was 57 180s it last week. The nightly average, I think it was pretty much the best we've seen. So, oh no, week 2 was the best we've seen so far, 99.79.
That's in a cowshed. Exeter, West Point's a cowshed.
I mean, the night's average, so across the board, everyone's number is 98.32. And interestingly, if you look at the top 4 players' seasonal numbers, they're all around the numbers you're seeing across the board for week in, week out. The week 3 was a low one. The one in that was Dublin, wasn't it? Week 3, yeah. That was 96.74. Now, why, I don't know, but it was an awkward place to be. We had all the whistling going on, and there was far too many distractions, and that just shows you, if you're a darts fan and you want to see the best darts, let them play.
That's Chris Dobey against Luke Littler in match 2. Rob Cross against Luke Humphries in match 3. Humphries was hitting 12 darters for fun last week in Exeter. Now, it didn't quite come off for him in Minehead of the UK Open, where he lost to James Wade in the semi-final, which was a big shock. Yeah,
but there was a few naughties going on before.
Yeah,
wasn't
the licking
there?
of the neck and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it was some strange behaviour from James, and by all accounts, there was a fair bit of strange stuff going on in the practice room before the match.
Okay.
And there was a bit of a gamesmanship during the match, and I think you could see how disgruntled Luke was at the end of the match. Probably more disappointed, because he's got so much respect for James, and probably sort of felt, or couldn't understand, well, why are you treating me like that? I thought we had respect for each other and we were friends. And I think that's what annoyed him more. It didn't play badly, but was obviously out of sorts. But credit where it's due. In the last 4 legs of that match, James Wade averaged nearly 120. He was remarkable. He hit more.
2 180s a leg, wouldn't it?
Yeah, in the last 3 legs. So we can't take anything away from James, but Luke was obviously unsettled. But I mean, looking at the games tonight, MVG and Price for me is a bit of a coin flip. Littler does Dobey, because he will be flying right now, and he's got all that active board time, and he'd have had a couple of downtime days, and then probably had 5 minutes practice yesterday and 5 minutes today. I expect Humphries to do Cross, and our final game's fascinating, because these two are desperate for points, aren't they?
Stephen Bunting's the only player without points on the board on the table, although he did average 104 in losing to Littler in Exeter last week, so the numbers are there in his game. And Nathan Aspinall's made a final and a semi-final so far in the Premier League 2025, so he's got points on the board, Nathan. But I was looking at his win rate for 2025, and his kind of mean is around 60%. At the moment he's on 48%, although there are signs that the Asp that we know is there is kind of on the way back. But Bunty,
I mean, the reason Bunty, for obvious reasons, needs points, and despite that, the start that Aspinall has made, he's still not in them playoff places. And I know we're only in week 5, but trust me, these come rattling around fast, and very rarely does someone who's in that bottom sort of by mid-season can they find enough to try and catch the players at the top.
At what week do they start panicking then?
Well,
if you look at, let's say, Peter Wright last year, at what point would if he has said, oh, goodness me.
Well, the year before he finished bottom as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
And you could almost see it by sort of week 4 or 5, that the agony was evident, wasn't it?
So it is around this
around this kind of time, you're thinking, you know, all of these guys here, Aspinall, Cross, Dobey and Bunting, they've got to try and sort of push and try and dislodge one of those above them. I mean,
but it's fairly from 3rd down to 8th. It is fairly congested. So if Bunty has a good night here,
exactly,
it really bunches things up.
This is the time over the next couple of weeks to really try and make a move, because sort of where you are on week 6, week 7 is I'd suggest that's pretty much where you're going to end up, because you'll start to get gapped, and there'd be too much of a gap to close.
The Brighton Centre hosting week 5, 5,000 or so fans packed in. waiting for a night of elite tungsten tussling, and you can hear the dulcet tones of John McDonald, the Master of Ceremonies, who's about to introducing the first two protagonists, who will be the players currently occupying third and fourth spots in the table.
For the thousands joining us live and the millions joining us around the world, it's time to meet the players. A three-time Grand Slam champion, the winner of the World Grand Prix, a Premier League finalist, ladies and gentlemen, a two-time World Cup champion and the former champion of the world, the Iceman, Gerwyn Price.
Iceman on his way. Lost in the UK Open to the vastly improving Connor Scott on the second stage at Minehead, and Connor was fantastic.
Yeah, it was a fabulous game, wasn't it?
One of the games of the tournament.
It went to the wire. It was one of those that it was a shame that it wasn't on the main stage, but yeah, Connor Scott's certainly a name that we're now familiar with, a name that everybody will be familiar with over the next year.
I wonder whether Connor might sneak into the match play. He might sneak to the top 32.
Yeah.
It's not beyond him, is it?
No, absolutely not. And listen, there's lots of darts to be played.
Oh, here comes a former seven-time Premier League champion about to make his way to the stage.
Premier League champion and a three-time champion of the world.
Yeah, Premier League, of course, doesn't go on the rankings.
No, it doesn't, you're right, yeah.
An invitation to one, but he's amassed, I think it's over £2 million in prize money alone, just from the Premier League.
Not too shabby for the green machine.
You wouldn't mind being a pound behind.
No, that's very true. This will be Price and Van Gerwen's first meeting of the calendar year.
Yeah, incredibly, they only met 4 times in 2024, and 3 of them were in Premier League matches.
That's right, the other was in the Players' Championship towards the end of the year. Players' Championship 27 in October. MVG won that in the final by 8 legs to 4. I mean, Price did well to reach the final because, as we mentioned, his darts last year just dipped a little.
Yeah, well, it shows you that the fact that they met so few times, because neither of them were getting any kind of deep runs, but the last 6 times they have met, which is over the course of some of 2023 and 2024, Price has only won 1 match, and that was 6-5.
Well, MVG's problems really stem from his finishing. Price, it's all about confidence. His finishing is definitely there.
It's very similar with the both of them. They just go, if they go missing on the doubles early in a match, they'll tend to go through the entirety of the match missing doubles.
And they're already on their feet in the Brighton Centre because they're watching 2 world champions kicking off the night.
Well, in terms of Premier League venues, it's quite a small one at 5,000, but it just makes a lovely sound in there. I don't know whether it's to do with the acoustics there or...
Well, it's great, isn't it? You get 3,500 in Alexandra Palace for the sessions that we cover for the World Championship. Then it goes up to, oh goodness, 15, 16, 17,000 on the continent in places like Berlin and Rotterdam. But here we are in Brighton, and it is game on with Michael Van Gerwen starting things off. Remember, it's a race to 6 legs,
100.
no breaks, 5:01 for each leg. And a steady ton for MVG to start us off.
60.
Price just above the red bit with his first 3 at the board.
Yeah, a couple of range finders, but MVG's in the lipstick. Very nearly our first 180 of the night.
Price, I was speaking to our darts correspondent
55.
Harry Durham earlier, and he was saying that Price is one of the fittest players in sport, or there was some sort of list of the fittest sports players in the world, and he was up there in the top 20.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder how they know that. I mean, obviously he was a former professional or semi-professional rugby player, wasn't he? And certainly looks after himself. But in terms of positions, these two are third and fourth. Gerwyn Price is on 7 points, MVG on 6. So even more incentive for Michael van Gerwen to win this one.
Don't forget that Van Gerwen beat Price the one time that he reached the Premier League final back in 2023, which was the last time that MVG won the whole shebang.
It certainly was. And, well, MVG, he's first down.
Yeah, he's got to finish at 72. Price back on 165 in this opening leg. Van Gerwen with the darts.
Yeah, so no finish for Pricey here. Can set it up. He'll probably be on 19s. Well, he's left himself 75 in the end. So double 6 for MVG to take a 1-0 lead and a holder throw.
Oh, he's down to double 3. He's just gone inside double 6. And it looks like Price is back in because he's failed on double 3. So 75 for Gerwen to break the throw. But he can't eat into it. He's left himself on 37. Very odd outshot for Gerwen.
Made a real mess of that. But it is double 3. Won't even think about the split.
And he's got it.
Ultimately gets the hold of throw. So first blood to the green machine. Pricey starts with a 140. MVG follows it with 99. Great last start from Gerwyn Price. Remember, it's a first to 6 to progress to the semi-final, and ultimately, if you win this game, it's points on the board.
2 points for reaching a semi-final. 3 if you get to the final but lose. 5 if you win the whole night.
Plus a little winner-takes-all bonus of 10 grand.
Yeah, very nice. Never mind the prize money that comes when you get to the actual finals night of the O2 come May, which will be there. First maximum of the night popped in by MVG. Although Price is on a finish, which won't go a 144. Van Gerwen is actually on a bogey outshot.
Yeah, good last start from Gerwyn Price. Picks up the treble 19 to leave 47. 168 for MVG. Comes downstairs. No success on the cover. Gets the treble 18, just in case. But it is 7 tops. Good leg so far. High on the double 20. Doesn't make the adjustment.
Just bent the wire slightly. So MVG back in treble 17 for double 12. First part of that's done, and so's the second. Great clutch finish from Van Gerwen to break the Price throw and go 2-0 up in Brighton on talkSPORT YouTube channel.
Yeah, 2 missed darts at a double punished. Very clinical from Michael so far. 2 single 20s. We're on the top wire of the 60. No treble 19, so an opening for Price. MVG leads 2-0. Single 20 finds the adjustment, gets the treble, and follows it. 140.
Their recent head-to-head records are pretty much neck and neck, but when you go back through history, it took Gerwyn 20 attempts to beat MVG in tournament play, but once he'd broken the seal, then things have been much more level pegging between the two.
Yeah, that's for sure. But like I said, only 1 win since the middle of 2023 for Pricey against MVG.
Great covering on treble 19, not once but twice by MVG. Price has had a bounce out from 301.
Can do without them, especially against when you're playing MVG, who looks really focused this evening.
He does.
He wants to taste some success. It's
59.
It's eluded him so far.
Well, Price will not give up. He will not let his head drop. Mason was talking about the psychologist he's been talking to pep up his game. 109 for Van Gerwen. 17 for double 16. For 4-0. Whoa! Oh, the outer ring's clicking for MVG as well.
Yeah,
so 3-0.
75 checkout in leg 2 after the max. He's backed up with a 109 checkout. He's halfway there already. This is how quick these Premier League games can get away from you. Again, Price is making a lovely start to the legs, isn't he? He started with 140 on a couple of occasions, starts this leg with 135, but he's just not been able to sustain the heavy scoring.
Still only a breakdown though, the Iceman. Michael van Gerwen lost more than he won in 2024, had a 46%
yeah, that's the first time for as long, well, probably since we started recording those stats.
Yep, I would say so. He's been a consistent 60-70% win rate player,
if not higher.
But of course he had his dental issues. He's still wearing a brace. He had, when I say dental surgery, I mean major reconstruction
his
surgery.
Top palate completely cracked through the middle when they were trying to adjust his jaw, and it was horrendous. He was in the pain. It was all being wired together.
Yeah, he's on 76. Gerwyn Price to get a leg on the board. Van Gerwen kicks off 171.
Great pressure.
Treble 19s.
Found the treble 20. Wants double 8. Gets double 8. A 2-dart kill, and sort of almost sarcastically celebrates.
It's funny how the perception of Gerwyn Price is starting to change. It's like John Cena going from face to heel. No, Nico will appreciate that, but Gerwyn Price has gone from heel to face almost. There were a few boos when he was first introduced.
Such a lovely fella.
Yeah.
Really is a nice guy.
A gentle giant, you might say. So we're into leg 5. It's a race to 6. Van Gerwen 3 legs to 1 up. And he has the throw. But Price looking for his first max. 3 darts on the pinhead in the red bit. Lovely stuff.
What a difference a leg makes.
Oh, back comes MVG.
Oh, beautiful. 174. So he's had a 180, a 109 out, a 171 and a 174.
But
Price is back in the red bit. 2 in the treble 20. Started off on 221. Leaves 41. Back-to-back maxes.
And Van Gerwen's on a bogey out shot. Can't do 169, but he can eat into it.
Well, this is how well Pricey has been playing of late. He played against Humphries in an exhibition match. I think it was a race to 6.
Double 10. He's missed it in some way.
And the averages were 119 and 118, and he lost 6-1.
70 for Van Gerwen.
Double 16.
Just pushed it inside.
His finishing has been very, very good. Price has dodged a bullet here. He's inside, double 5. Got to be careful. Clips the top wire.
He's attacked it too hard and he's underpitched it.
He knew how big that was. It was an opportunity for that breaker throw you talked about, Dance. And he would have been within 1 as it is. He's now 4-1 behind. He's running out of legs.
And he knows it. Little resigned shrug from Gerwyn Price.
Well, he had a sniff in leg 1, missed 2 darts in leg 2, and multiple darts there in leg 5.
Yeah. MVG still number 3 in the world, but Luke Littler's win at the UK Open just increased that gap in earnings between 2nd and 3rd spot. Luke Humphries, meantime, just inexorably cruising towards that illustrious £2 million mark for earnings. 189,000 at the moment.
134.
Now Price trying to get down from 339, looking for another max. Oh, he's just drifted into treble 1. So he's not down to a finish. Van Gerwen could be half a dart ahead here. Definitely half a dart ahead. 125 scored. So Price is up against it here.
Yeah, he's in a spot of bother. Although that max will get him out of that spot of bother. He's down to double 18.
And 142 won't go for MVG, but he's set up.
This will be frustrating because Pricey knows this double goes in. It should be 3-3.
2 on the wire of 18s, but the 3rd one goes in, and he gives it a look from the hockey before he walks forward and collects his darts. A little double fist bicep pump to the punters. It's 4-2 in legs to Van Gerwen.
Yeah, kicks with a max of his own.
Price has dropped.
I don't think there's anybody that drops the darts more than him. He has his handover is very light.
Yeah.
I hope he didn't fumble the rugby ball as much.
Well, I was thinking of Martin Schindler at the weekend, who saw the dart rebound so far out the board it hit him in his toe.
Yeah. And James Wade stabbing himself in the finger.
Oh, that's right, and he's dodging it. It was all going on, wasn't it? Never mind your problems.
Yeah.
That's less said about your problems than
we don't want to talk about those on air.
No. So Van Gerwen 262, less these, and another great couple of pickoffs at treble 19.
Yeah, long way in front. Nothing Price can do to even leave a finish. He's trying to put a dent in it. Only 85, takes it down to 272. 128 for MVG. Yeah, it goes the right way. Treble 20. Doesn't follow it. 48 left. Would have gone 18s, of course, had Pricey been on a finish. Now he's got to be careful here. Straight ton's no good. Should go ball. He'll go back up. Well, he's got options. Oh, that's brilliant. Leaves 167 just in case.
216s though for Van Gerwen. On the wire, outside, too far inside. Next door is double 8. Pins that in exactly the same place he spotted it a couple of legs ago. So now it's 5-2 and Price has to be perfect from here on in. Yeah,
just little situations like that. He's done it a couple of times, hasn't he? Found a corner, found one with his last dart, and that's when you know it's your night, or it's particularly your game.
Right in the middle of the red bit with his first dart, but just under pitches the next two, just to make do with a steady ton there, Van Gerwen.
He's lost the line. Small 5 follows it, treble 5. Eventually runs for cover and finds the treble 19, takes him down to 343, and that's not good thinking. That he should have risked the treble 20, because a 180 leaves him 163. That's something that we talk about when we would discuss Littler after 6, leaving a number that could be completed in 6.
Right.
100.
So you have to be thinking, 344, 180 leaves 164.
I've only just done about 302 and 18s. Honestly, the things you learn in this sport week on week.
Yeah, the math side of it is just really, it's such a big factor now, because you've got to make sure you don't leave yourself a number that can't be completed in 6.
Well, Price needs 86 to save the game. Van Gerwen coming down from 208. Simple ton. So this has got to go effectively for Gerwen. 68 left.
It's got to go. It's got to stay there.
Oh, and he's hit single 4. Wanted 18 for Bull.
Well, we've already had a 109, haven't we, from MVG in leg 3. Can he take the 108 out for the match?
Single 19, he can still go. He needed treble 19 for double 16.
39.
So a reprieve for Gerwyn Price.
Yeah, a bit of a let off. Deserves one, in fairness. I think 6-2 would have been a bit harsh.
Double top for Price. Why is it on the outside? Only one dart left in hand, and he can't find it.
How has that point gone in between the other one and not gone in the double?
No
it
idea.
didn't look like there was room.
So for the match, 69. Make that 58. 18 leaves double top for the match, Van Gerwen. And he's underpitched it, and it's split it. Will he be back for 2 10s?
Has come and gone. Double 10. This is his issue. But eventually he finds double 5 with dart number 3 just to stay in the match. But as you rightly said, Dance, he's at a point of no return. Has to be perfect, or MVG is going to have to make a load of mistakes. They both had 17 darts at a double.
And as you just heard, Hugh Ware calling out a 140 for Van Gerwen at the start of leg 9. It's a race to 6. 5-3. Van Gerwen leads in this first of 7 matches tonight on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel.
I mean, this is a real below par performance from Price here. I'll have a look after this game, but at the moment he's averaging 87. I certainly can't recall a performance of that ilk in quite some time, but perfectly timed, finds a match, takes him down to 275, MVG 304, leads 5-3.
And our pal Paul Nicholson, who I think is watching from Belgium, evening Nico, he's just passed this little tidbit of information on to me. Tonight, Michael Van Gerwen is playing in his 200th Premier League night.
82.
Wow.
Van Barneveld managed 198, Taylor 190, Wade 180. Now Van Gerwen, he wants a setup. He was on 164, he hit 2 treble 20s.
Yeah, just a single 12 to leave 32. Perfect with Price back up on 193. Yeah, he's over there for the first Euro tour of the season. Starts tomorrow.
Yeah,
enjoy yourself out there, Nico.
These players will be heading over there once they're done tonight for the match. Double 16 pin. He missed his first match start, but the second match start from MVG perfectly in the bend, and he's happy with that. Now, can MVG follow that up with a semi-final win? Because as we mentioned before, he hasn't won back-to-back tournament matches in the calendar year since Ali Pali when he got to the final, but he's dispatched Gerwyn Price there by 6 legs to 3. The averages may not be exactly what he wants, but that's more like the finishing we would expect.
Yeah, the finishing was tidy enough, wasn't it? I mean, ultimately it's still only a 95 average, and well, against any one of the other players this evening he would have been in trouble, but just 17% on the doubles for Gerwyn Price, and 6 from 17, so 35% for MVG. But he's going to have to find some better stuff to win tonight, because what we've just seen there was okay for me and you, not for MVG.
Well, that will mean that MVG will leap above Price in the standings, because they started the night with Price on 7 points, MVG on 6, so that means that MVG will go up to at least 8 points, maybe 9 if he can reach the final. In order to get to the final, Van Gerwen has got to beat the winner of our next match on the stage, which will be Luke Littler against Chris Dobey, and Abigail Davies will join Chris Mason for commentary on that one on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel, and talkSPORT 2 will join in the fun as well during the course of our second match. But you're watching the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. Premier League Night 5 well underway, and Michael Van Gerwen is through to the semi-finals, a 6-3 winner against Gerwyn Price. Well, when it comes to the Darts Premier League, the last thing you want is an online mishap throwing you off your game. That's where NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro, trademark, steps up to the oche. Think of it as your personal referee, keeping dodgy websites, malware and phishing scams from sneaking into your setup. It even blocks those pesky ads so you won't get distracted mid-leg. Just go to nordvpn.com/dartsvpn and you'll get 2 years plus 4 months free, and a birthday deal into the bargain as well. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee.